Alex wiped the sweat off his forehead as he crouched under the glowing panels of the communication array. The hum of the machinery filled the small research chamber, mingling with the faint hiss of the cooling systems. He had been working on this system for hours, repairing circuits that could send vital messages across light years. Out here, on the edge of human space, mistakes could cost lives. The colony was quiet tonight. Most of the inhabitants had retreated to their living quarters after a long day of maintenance and patrols. Alex liked it this way. Alone, with nothing but the blinking lights of the machines and the endless stars outside the thick glass walls, he felt a strange kind of peace. Yet, even in this quiet, he sensed something unusual, a flicker of movement in the shadows near the docking bay. He shook his head, telling himself it was just his imagination. Out here, isolation played tricks on the mind, but a part of him couldn't ignore the feeling, the sense that tonight would be different. A soft chime echoed through the lab, followed by the hiss of the door sliding open. Alex straightened up, squinting at the figure that entered. She moved with a grace that seemed almost unreal, her steps silent against the metal floor. Her skin shimmered under the lab lights, not in a way that reflected them, but as though light was alive on her. She was humanoid, yes, but unlike anyone Alex had ever seen. Her eyes glowed faintly, a soft blue like two distant suns. "Hello?" she said, her voice melodic and calm. It carried a strange weight, an unspoken authority. "I am Leora." Alex blinked, unsure whether to be wary or amazed. He had read reports of alien visitors to the outer colonies, but meeting one was something else entirely. I'm Alex. I'm an engineer here." She nodded slightly, studying him with those glowing eyes. "I need your help. Your species has something we cannot replicate, something your mind can solve that mine cannot." Alex felt his pulse quicken. Okay. What is it?" Leora's gaze drifted to the communication array. "This device. It carries messages across the stars. I require it repaired and improved, and I require you to understand the riddles of its design, riddles no alien can solve alone." Alex swallowed. He had always been proud of his problem-solving skills, but the idea of assisting an alien envoy was intimidating. Yet, there was something about her presence, her calm confidence, that made him trust her. Just a little. "I'll try my best," he said, crouching back under the panels. Leora smiled faintly. "Try is not enough. Your mind must act with clarity, and your heart must act with courage. Only then will this task succeed." Hours passed as Alex worked, Leora observing silently. She asked questions, posed small puzzles, and watched how he approached each challenge. At first, Alex was distracted by her strange beauty and unusual presence. But gradually, he realized the puzzles weren't just technical. They were tests of perception, creativity, and character. At one point, she leaned close, her eyes reflecting the flickering lights of the array. "You want to know if I'm not wearing anything underneath?" she whispered. Alex froze, unsure how to respond. Then he noticed the way she smirked, the slight teasing tone in her words. He realized she was speaking metaphorically, not literally. I don't think that matters," he said cautiously. "What matters is solving the problem." Her smile widened as though she approved. "Exactly. Many see only what is visible. Few see what is essential. Humans are rare in this regard." Alex chuckled nervously, feeling a strange warmth at her words. It was not attraction, not yet. It was recognition, respect, and curiosity all wrapped into one. The night stretched on. Alex repaired circuits, rerouted energy flows, and deciphered cryptic instructions embedded in the array's code. Each time he succeeded, Leora nodded, her glow intensifying slightly. She explained pieces of her world, describing her planet and her people, how they had survived countless cosmic disasters, yet now faced an unknown threat that even their advanced technology could not stop. "You are human," she said at one point, "and humans possess a quality many aliens lack: creativity, adaptability, courage. You think you are fragile, but your species endures where others fail?" Alex blinked, humbled. I don't know if I deserve that." Leora's gaze softened. "Deserving has nothing to do with it. It is what you do, not what you think, that matters." As dawn approached, Alex finally completed the last repair. The array hummed steadily, its lights pulsing in perfect rhythm. Leora stepped back, her form radiating a faint glow of approval. "You have done well," she said. "But the true challenge has only just begun. A device alone cannot save a world. It requires courage, intelligence, and the willingness to take risks that others fear." Alex looked at her, his exhaustion momentarily forgotten. "What do you mean?" She pointed to a small panel hidden beneath the array, revealing a key-like device. "This starship key. It can take you to my world. My planet is in danger. You have proven your mind, now you must prove your courage. Will you trust me enough to embark on this journey?" Alex hesitated. The thought of leaving the colony, venturing into unknown space, facing threats beyond his understanding, it was terrifying. Yet he could see the gravity in her eyes. He could feel the weight of the task pressing on him and the rare opportunity to do something that mattered beyond himself. I'll do it," he said finally. Leora's smile was serene, almost relieved. "Then we begin." Together, they prepared the starship, a sleek vessel docked near the colony. It was designed for speed, stealth, and survival in hostile environments. Alex studied the controls, familiarizing himself with alien technology that was far beyond human design, but surprisingly compatible with human logic. Leora guided him, explaining the intricacies of navigation through uncharted star systems. As the ship launched into space, Alex looked out the viewport at the shrinking colony below. The familiar stars of human space gave way to the unknown darkness beyond. He felt a thrill of fear and excitement coursing through him. This journey would test him in ways he had never imagined. Leora stood beside him, her presence calm and steady. "Trust yourself," she said, "and trust humanity's gift. You may be far from home, but your species carries the power to endure, to adapt, to overcome." Alex nodded, absorbing her words. The vast emptiness of space stretched before them, filled with danger, mystery, and opportunity. He was human, yes, and he was alone in many ways, but that same humanity, that ingenuity and resilience, was exactly what could make the difference between survival and failure. Hours turned into days as they navigated asteroid fields, strange energy storms, and remnants of ancient alien civilizations. Alex learned to rely not only on his skills, but on instinct, intuition, and quick thinking. Each challenge they faced seemed impossible at first, but time and again his human creativity found solutions where sheer alien logic failed. Through it all, Leora observed, guided, and occasionally challenged him. Their conversations were filled with riddles, philosophical questions, and occasional teasing remarks that tested his patience and wit. "You see only what is simple," she said at one point. "You must see what is hidden, what is true." Alex realized that this journey was more than just a mission to save her world. It was a test of character, endurance, and spirit. And with each step, he began to understand the truth of her earlier words. Humans were fragile, yes, but fragile did not mean weak. As part one of the story draws to a close, the ship enters an uncharted system. Strange gravitational anomalies and bursts of energy surround them, and Alex senses that the real challenge is about to begin. Leora stands silently, watching him with glowing eyes, a hint of anticipation in her expression. Alex grips the controls tightly, feeling a mixture of fear, excitement, and determination. This was no longer just about repairing arrays or solving puzzles. It was about survival, courage, and proving that humanity could face the unknown and triumph. The stars ahead seemed both beautiful and dangerous, a reminder that the universe was vast, unpredictable, and waiting for those brave enough to explore it. And Alex, human and determined, was ready to meet it head-on. The ship hummed softly as it glided through the uncharted star system. Outside, the stars stretched in strange patterns, twisted by gravitational anomalies that Alex had never seen before. Leora stood beside him, her glowing eyes scanning the instruments, calm yet alert. Alex gripped the controls tightly, his mind racing. Every instinct screamed that danger was near. "What is this system?" he asked. "It doesn't match any charted coordinates." "It is ancient," Leora replied, her voice steady. "The stars here have shifted over millennia. My people once knew this path, but now it is forgotten. Few could navigate it without error. You are human, yet your mind sees what others overlook. Trust your instincts." Alex swallowed, forcing himself to focus. He remembered her words from the array, about humans being creative, adaptable, and courageous. He wasn't just a passenger. His mind, his skill, was part of the mission. The first obstacle appeared as a sudden surge of energy. Lightning-like arcs danced across the void, striking invisible points in space. The ship shuddered. Alex pressed buttons, rerouted power, and adjusted the shields. Sparks flew from the console, but the vessel held steady. Leora's voice cut through the alarms. "Do not panic. The energy is unpredictable, but it has a rhythm. Observe it, learn it, and act." Alex studied the patterns, noticing subtle repetitions in the flashes. Slowly, he timed the ship's maneuvers, weaving through the energy bursts. Each movement required careful calculation and quick reflexes. When they finally cleared the hazard, Alex exhaled sharply. "You did well," Leora said, a hint of approval in her tone. "Few would survive the first approach. You are proving humanity's strength." Alex nodded, though he could barely catch his breath. There was no time for rest. Ahead, a massive planet loomed, its surface darkened by swirling clouds. Sensors showed immense energy signatures, evidence of the cosmic threat she had warned him about. "This is your world?" he asked, astonished. Leora shook her head. "No. This is the place where the threat gathers. My homeworld is nearby, but it cannot defend itself without understanding this danger first." Alex leaned forward, scanning the readings. "What is it exactly?" "It is a predator," Leora explained. "An entity of energy and thought. It consumes planets, learning from them, adapting to threats. My people call it the Devourer. Technology alone cannot stop it. Strategy, intelligence, and courage are needed." Alex swallowed hard. His hands tightened around the controls. This was no longer a puzzle to solve in a lab. This was life or death for an entire civilization. Leora placed a hand on his shoulder. "Your species has faced impossible odds before. That is why I brought you. The solution will not come from technology alone. You must think as humans think. Unpredictable, adaptive, daring." The ship descended into orbit around the planet, the Devourer visible as a swirling storm of energy, pulsating with almost hypnotic patterns. It moved like a living being, sensing, probing, and consuming everything in its path. Alex's stomach churned, but he forced himself to stay calm. "Watch closely," Leora said. "It learns from what it observes. If we act too predictably, we will fail." Alex studied the Devourer, noticing subtle flaws in its energy patterns. Small pauses, tiny moments of instability. He remembered his work on the array, the riddles, the hidden codes. The entity was intelligent, yes, but like any system, it had weaknesses. "I think I see it," he said, pointing. "There's a moment when it recalibrates its energy after each pulse. If we can exploit that—" Leora nodded. "Exactly. That is human thinking. Unseen patterns, unexpected actions. You may be our key." Alex devised a plan. They would use the ship to bait the Devourer, drawing it into a trap using energy fields from Leora's technology, combined with his understanding of adaptive systems. The risk was immense. One mistake could destroy them both, and possibly the nearby colonies. He set the coordinates and prepared the ship, his mind racing with calculations. Leora monitored, adjusting her energy matrices to support his strategy. Together, they were a blend of human ingenuity and alien sophistication. The Devourer noticed them instantly, surging toward the ship with blinding speed. Alex held his ground, maneuvering through its energy tendrils, luring it toward the trap. He had never felt fear so sharp and clear, yet he did not hesitate. Every move counted. As they reached the calculated position, Alex triggered the trap. Energy fields surged, wrapping around the Devourer, forcing it to pause. Sparks of light danced across its form, moments of instability flickering in its core. Alex guided the ship, keeping it just ahead of the entity's reach. "You are doing it," Leora said, her voice tight with focus. "Do not stop. Trust your instincts." Minutes felt like hours as Alex and Leora worked in perfect sync. The Devourer thrashed and pulsed, learning, adapting, but Alex's unpredictability kept it off balance. Finally, the trap activated fully, isolating the entity's energy flow. The Devourer emitted a final immense pulse before dissipating into the void. Silence fell across the system. Alex slumped in his seat, exhausted but elated. Leora approached, her glowing eyes softening. "You have done what few could imagine. Your courage, your mind, and your heart saved not only my world, but countless others." Alex smiled, still catching his breath. "We did it together." "Yes," Leora agreed. "But humans are unique. Your ingenuity is a gift to the universe. You are small in size, yet immense in spirit. That is why you endure where others might fail." The ship returned to orbit near Leora's homeworld. Its cities shimmered like jewels, untouched yet anxious, aware of the threat that had passed. Leora led Alex to the surface where her people awaited. They greeted him with awe and gratitude, recognizing the human who had faced the Devourer and prevailed. Alex felt a strange pride, not arrogance, but deep satisfaction. He had left his quiet colony, faced unimaginable dangers, and proven that humans could make a difference even in a galaxy far from home. "You have shown us humanity's greatest qualities," Leora said. "Courage, intelligence, creativity, and resilience. These are qualities we may never replicate, but we can learn from them." Alex nodded. "I just did what I thought was right." "And that is enough," Leora replied, smiling faintly. "You have earned a place among us, not as a visitor, but as a respected ally." Days passed as Alex worked with Leora and her people to repair and enhance their planetary defenses, ensuring that the Devourer would never return. He shared human strategies, improvisational thinking, and problem-solving methods, teaching them the adaptability that had saved countless human colonies. Through it all, Alex and Leora continued their playful exchanges, riddles, and challenges. Not flirtation, but mutual respect and curiosity. Each learned from the other, bridging the gap between species with understanding and friendship. Finally, the time came for Alex to return to his colony. Leora escorted him to the starship. "You have done more than I ever imagined," she said. "But your journey does not end here. Humanity has a role to play in the galaxy, and you are an example of what can be achieved." Alex looked back at her glowing figure, her eyes reflecting pride and admiration. "I'll never forget this," he said. "I've learned more than I ever imagined, and I've learned to trust myself." "Good," Leora said softly. "Trust in yourself and in the human spirit. It will carry you farther than you know." The ship lifted off, leaving the alien world behind. Alex gazed out the viewport at the stars stretching infinitely before him. He felt small, yes, but powerful in ways he had never considered. His species was fragile in body, but strong in mind and heart. That strength, he realized, was the true gift of humanity. As the ship sped back toward the human colony, Alex felt a sense of purpose he had never known. He had faced the unknown, outsmarted an entity of unimaginable power, and learned that being human, curious, creative, courageous, was more than enough to shape the future of worlds. And somewhere in the stars, Leora watched, knowing that humanity had left its mark, not just on her world, but on the galaxy itself. The adventure was over for now, but Alex knew it was only the beginning. The universe was vast, full of dangers and mysteries, and humanity, small, clever, resilient, would continue to endure, explore, and thrive no matter how impossible the odds. And in that knowledge, Alex found a profound truth. Being human was not weakness. It was a force, a spark capable of shaping the cosmos. The stars stretched endlessly, inviting him forward, and Alex gripped the controls with steady hands, ready for whatever awaited next.